Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be here for day 2 of Vlogmas. So it is day 2 of Vlogmas 2017, December 2nd, Saturday. It is a beautiful day to relax, to sleep in. It will have been the second day, and I'm recording this on Thursday, but it will have been the second day that our little elf friend has visited because our elf is coming tonight. So that's super exciting. Um, so I just wanted to take a minute and talk to you guys about traditions. And when I grew up, there were a few traditions that I really remember. I mean, there was things that like were the same for everybody. Opening up presents on Christmas morning and visiting Santa and, all of that kind of stuff. But some of the traditions that kind of stick out for me when I was growing up were I had my mom made, she actually made it for somebody else, but she never gave it to them. So that when I came along, it became mine. It was a cross stitched, I believe, advent calendar, and it was, about yay big, bigger than 8 by 10, but you know, um, and it was an angel, and her dress had pockets on it, and every day there was a slip of paper in there that I'd pull out, and it would have an activity that we'd have to do. So it could be, and my mom was super awesome about making sure that the activities were like super doable. So it wasn't like make Christmas cards for the whole family. It was like, okay, today we're going to make Christmas cards for you know, your grandma and grandpa, on this side. And, then maybe 2 days later it would be make Christmas cards for the other set of grandparents or whatever. So it was always very, manageable. And I can remember I was fairly young for the most part, when we used it. So, it was nice to have it manageable, I'm sure, for my mom. And from the standpoint of, you know, being a kid, it was enough to be exciting and to be, oh, okay, we get to do this thing today. But it was also not like an overwhelming, every day wasn't like this huge party. It wasn't like we had 25 days of, holiday. So that's one thing that I remember. And I'm going to look at my notes here, which I took my glasses off, so I'm going to be like, yeah, staring here. Um, so that, and then I don't know if any of you guys would remember these or not from your childhood. If you do, maybe you could drop it in the comments down there and let me know if you remember these. But we used to get they were was like a book, and they had different ones for different characters. I know we had Sesame Street, and we had, um, it was Sesame Street and Mickey Mouse, I think, I definitely remember having. But they were little punch out. You'd punch out they were like cardboard ornaments, or cardstock, kind of like. And then, some of them you just hung up, like that. And then some of them were like the 3D ones where you'd put them together, and then they'd have like a 3D kind of effect. So we always used to make those, like every year. I can remember making those. I can remember making paper chains and more paper chains and more paper chains every year, which was so much fun. And last but not least was the making, not making, every year as I got older. Once I got out of, I was about 8, 9 years old, I think. And my mom and I started taking a trip to Chicago every year. We lived somewhat nearby in Indiana at the time. And basically, what it would be is it would be we would go on the train to Chicago to go see the window displays and the Christmas lights and stuff. And it was almost always after Christmas. So it was in that in between, not quite Christmas, but, or, after Christmas, but still in the holiday time thing. And I can remember having all kinds of, like, it was exciting. The city was magical and there was so much going on. And we would go and we'd look at the windows and we'd go to Marshall Fields and we'd go window shopping, and we'd eat at, usually, I think a couple of times at least, we ate at the Walnut Room, which is where they had the really big tall Christmas tree there and everything. And it was always just so much fun. So those are like my favorite memories, my favorite kind of childhood traditions. And so when I had my little girls, I kept thinking, okay, so like, what do I want to do? What do I want to incorporate? Because, like, I know I want to do some kind of advent calendar because I had one growing up and it was so much fun. So, I knew I wanted to do something like that. Well, commercialism, commercialism. I was on the fence for a long time about whether or not I wanted to do an elf on the shelf. And we now have one. Um, our elf comes and she brings, uh, she does something cute, funny, whatever, is in a different place at least every day changes. She might have 3 or 4 places that she rotates or something, but we keep it simple around here. Um, but she usually brings either like a little treat or, an activity, something small. And then she also brings us a little piece of paper which has on it a random act of kindness to do that day. So that is something that we have started with our kids. So that's kind of the acts of kindness and also the elf on the shelf. Those are kind of two of my new traditions. One of the other traditions that we do is a Christmas Eve box. And it is like on Christmas Eve, some people they do like they open one present on Christmas Eve or something like that. And then there's some people who like give pajamas on Christmas or, Christmas Eve. It's stuff like that. So ours is one box. Both the girls get to rip into it. And it has pajamas. And it has a new Christmas movie in it. And it has hot cocoa mix and popcorn and candy. And we get to just have a movie party. And that's kind of like our thing. Now, one thing that I am going to tell you about now, and I don't think I was planning on doing this, but I will go ahead and put it in the vlog. And then if you read the blog, you have to watch the vlog in order to get the little extra bit there. We also do a Christmas Eve countdown. So I know for guaranteed fact I am not getting my children on Christmas Eve to take a nap. That's just not going to happen. And them not taking a nap and them not having quiet time and all of that. It's a lot for this mom to deal with. So I started last year, that we were going to have to do something fun and interesting every hour on the hour from lunchtime on until after dinner, so that we could keep them busy and it would be fun stuff that they could do. And it's just kind of like it's something that I usually try to do things that they can do on their own. Like, I'll set it up or help them set it up, but they're doing it on their own, so I can be doing other stuff, but they're busy. And it's something new. And that's something we don't always do every day. So it's not it's not like playing Play-Doh or, stuff like that. So like last year we made gingerbread houses. Um, which this year I think we're going to make gingerbread houses early, but I think I'm gonna let them make some graham cracker gingerbread houses, the smaller ones. So there's the gingerbread houses that we made ornaments. We made like they were foam ornaments, and then you like put stickers on them, and there was um pipe cleaners and stuff that went with it and stuff. So it was like a whole ornament kit. We let them make like three or four of the ornaments each. We did so we did the gingerbread, we did the thing, we did Christmas cookies, and we did Christmas ornaments where I let them make ornaments and then we painted the ornaments. So, that right there, if you're talking about every hour on the hour, and I started early. I started very, very early. In fact, last year I started in the morning. And this year I'm starting at lunch, and I'm going to start making it at lunch because usually in the morning they're pretty good. And then, by the afternoon, the excitement gets to be a little much and things. So, figure after lunch, then we'll start on the thing. And that also gives me the morning to kind of wrap my brain around everything. Um, if you've ever heard of the elf magic, um, it's like putting Skittles all around a paper plate, and then you have to pour water into the middle, and the colors mix and everything. So we did that. That was something that started the morning off. So just all different kinds of fun things. Um, that's, kind of another tradition that we do. So I would love, love, love to hear about your traditions. So if you want to leave me a comment about your traditions, that would be awesome. Um, as far as things like one of the things I wanted to do, I would love to be able to take my kids to like, a big place with lots of lights and stuff like that. But with the high need, special need kind of thing, that's something that I had to kind of dial back my expectations on. And I know that my oldest is younger than I was when we started doing this, so that could be a difference too. Um, but it's one of those things where sometimes you have to just kind of forge your own. So you find things that you did as a kid, and then you find ways that you can adapt that to make it easier for your family to do. So I hope that gave you guys some ideas, and if you have any questions about anything, um, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll get back to you on it. If you'd like to know how we do the Christmas Eve thing, let me know, and I can always do an extra vlog on that and show you. Like I did like note cards, and there was like they were all taped up on the door, and then each hour the timer would go off, and one of the girls would go over and get one of the things. It was super cool. So anyways, if you enjoyed this, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about homeschool or online school and holidays. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.